Board Commission will now come to order. We have a call for a Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Making of Law, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have roll call. Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir. Seat A, Chucky Sheremy.
Here.
Seat B, Johnny Ardorn.
Here.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafourche.
Here.
Seat D, Rodney J. Gisclair Sr.
Here.
Seat E, Curtis Pierce.
Here.
Seat F, Larry Griffin.
Here.
Seat G, John Melisson.
Here.
Seat H, Mike Calais here. Seat I, Chris Calais.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Colley. Next, we have approved minutes for February 10th, 2021.
Move.
February 24th, 2021 meeting. Moved by Mr. Melisson, second by Mr. Lafourche. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have Executive Director's Report.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is our northern expansion. Northern expansion slip C, 1,100 foot east bulkhead, PCO and Associates.
Yes, this project was done by Shaver's Widow Construction, and they are complete, and we are in the lien period right now.
Any questions? No. Okay, northern expansion slip C, 1,500 foot east sweep dredging.
Yes, we accepted bids in January on this project. This is the project dredge in front of that bulkhead that Shaver's Widow built. Magnolia Dredge and Dock was a little bidder. We gave them the notice to proceed for Monday, April the 5th. So we met with them this past week, and they're going to be starting in early April. It's a 120-day contract.
Okay. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Northern expansion slip D and Bayou Lafourche dredge, GIS Engineering.
Okay, Crosby Dredging is the contractor on this project. They started actually moving material about a week and a half ago, and they're broken down right now, but they'll start again probably tomorrow or the next day.
Okay. They're broken down right now, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, airport projects. Joe Wheeler.
All right, for aircraft operations, we had 1,842 operations, 7,362 passengers, and 15,845 vehicles. It's a slower month than usual. Weather was kind of complicated things, and then also just being February, the short month, so it's typically lower those months. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And the Airport Connector Road and Bridge, PCO and Associates.
Yes, we accepted bids on February 10th, and Sea Level Construction was a low bidder. We are currently working with DOTD and facility planning, the state, to issue contract documents to Sea Level. I've been told that they were issued this week, and they're going to get their documents together, send them back to DOTD, and then on to the port for signatures.
Okay.
Question. How much longer of that process you believe we have left before everything's signed, done, and we can start?
I would hope in the next couple of weeks we should be able to, the port should be able to sign. And then we do have what we call a 90-day assembly period once we give them like a conditional notice to proceed, which they can start ordering materials, and then they can show up to start driving test piles and stuff like that. But I would really think that you'd start to see construction sometime in June or July of this year, realistically.
Thank you.
Okay. And we had a request from Anna Hanks this morning for Bryce and I to have a conference call with her. And I think it's about the process, the final process on the contracts and how that works. So we're going to be dealing with that this afternoon. Okay, any further questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Moving on to other projects. We have the Tidal Creek Bridge and culvert improvements, and that's PCO and Associates as well.
Lowland Construction is the contractor. They've pretty much completed the area where the kayak launch is and the culvert improvements are. They got some touch-up work to do there. They've been working the last week or so on the concrete bridge. They drove the piles, and they're setting some of the bridge decks now. All seems to be going well. They're a little bit ahead of schedule, so.
Any questions? Thank you, Joe. Your front commercial marina boat shed and lift, GIS engineering, John.
The Picciola Construction is the contractor on this project. He's gotten all the piles driven and all the major timbers up. He's waiting on materials for his roof and his boat lift, and he'll be putting them in. We expect construction to be finished sometime toward the end of April.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
John. Okay, the Bell Pass emergency dredge, that's that core project that was done. The locations that you see where that yellow circle or whatever is, whatever shape that is where the, about where the rock was that they pulled out I guess near the fairway of the channel, and then it was moved over to that western jetty location on the outside. That's an oval? Well, it doesn't look like an egg to me, but you can see that's some dirt that came out with. It was about 3/4 of a barge of rock that I guess whenever they did, there was a rock project that took place about a year or so ago that they dropped some rock and didn't tell anybody. So when the dredge was out there doing the maintenance dredging, they found the rock with their cutter head. So thank goodness all of that is done, it's complete, and we have our dredging and the obstruction is gone. Okay? Any questions? All right. The Port Fourchon Belle Pass Channel Deepening Project. Call it Dustin Margot.
Yep. Thank you, Chet. Currently, Chet, myself, and Phil are coordinating with the Corps on this effort. As you guys know, the project was authorized in the Word of Bill at the end of 2020. While we thought that was a great step in forward progress, and it was, it caused a few little wrinkles in the process inside the Corps. And through coordinating with them, we thought it was going to be more challenging. Just last week, Phil had a conference call with Andrea Walker with the ASA's office, and OMB has directed them that the project does not need a New Start designation for us to move forward with completing the EIS and some of the items that the ASA had included in the authorization, which was, review of the cost as well as validation of the economics that was included in the report. So we are this afternoon going to be doubling back with the Corps. We were told on that call that they sent direction emails to the district, and while we have coordinated with the district over the last couple of weeks, the outlook wasn't as bright as we think it is now. So we just need to find out what that path forward is now that we know that we don't need a New Start designation. Right. And then Chet and I think we can get on the phone with Sarah this afternoon and hopefully have some good news from them, because I'm assuming from middle of last week to now, they've been figuring out what they can do. And those three options, I think, are do they have money in their existing discretionary money in their budget to allocate to this job? Or do they have some reprogramming of projects that maybe came under budget that they can reprogram to this project? And or can we just enter into an MOA like we did with the 203? The port put up some funds to where we can just close out this last, what I would consider 5% of the EIS, and move the project forward to have compliance with NEPA. So that's what we're working on. It was something, a bit of a surprise, I think, to all of us post-authorization to be going through this. But at the end of the day, I don't know that it's always, anytime, easy with the Corps. But they have been friendly, and they are trying, I think, to work this out and be partners with us to move the project forward. Yep. Any questions? Good to see you, Mr. Maloso.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the motor vessel Harvey C's removal. So we talked a lot about that on Monday evening. There is a plan in action. We will be getting back with them to make sure that there will be post-removal surveys and work that'll take place to basically fill back in with the material that you can see that was moved and displaced in the sanctuary, moved back in the spot where the vessel is. And with that, I'll hand it over to Bryce. He's been talking to them directly.
That's about it. We'll talk back with them, and I believe we have a committee meeting in another couple of weeks. We can report back at that time.
Yep.
They are going to need to, as if y'all recall, when we did the initial access agreement for them to get on the site to do the studies and the surveys they needed to do, they're going to need to come back, and you guys are going to need to approve another access agreement for them to do the work that they have planned. So it'll ultimately come back before this board.
Yep. All right, the Bayou Lafourche Mooring Dolphin Project, Angelette Piciola.
All right, on this project, our plans and specifications are currently being developed, and we anticipate being ready to advertise in April.
Okay. And on mooring dolphins in Bayou Lafourche, the Shues is actually in the process of removing the ones that they have as we speak. So we're kind of learning some things from them and some of the struggles that they're having, that and we're going to have to be mindful of those as well when we do our project to remove those. Any other questions?
This is just for removal of the dolphins for now.
I'm still discussing with Chet and David, but I think we're going to include an alternate bid for either 2 or 4 new installations, just so that the board can have a good public bid number in case you would decide to do that, or if you needed for anything with the claim, to have a good value to what those things would cost to reinstall.
Right.
Good, thank you.
Okay. All right, the LA1 Phase 2 Leeville construction, canal dredge, and mitigation work.
Okay, this project is also currently under design. We should have plans and specs ready in the next 2 months, and I think we'll be well ahead of the state's permitting on this effort. So realistically, we probably won't be going out for bid until sometime in July, I would suspect, but we'll have our plans and specs ready ahead of the state.
Okay. Any questions? All right. And the Fouchon Beach Restoration and Protection Project.
Okay, on this project, Chet and I met along with some parish officials with the CPRA last week to discuss some of the preliminary concepts. The state, through CPRA, is going to be providing $2 million of the total $6 million project. So right now, we're going through our preliminary design, and we're going to be preparing the permit for this project.
Okay. Any questions? All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Neil. And the Bell Pass Tower upgrade. John Crochet.
We began advertising on March 3rd. There's a mandatory pre-proposal meeting on March 18th, and we will be accepting sealed proposals on April 5th.
All right. Any questions for John? Okay, I had a couple of things I wanted to just briefly mention in my report, if that's okay, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
All right. One, as I mentioned on Monday night, we're very fortunate. Thad worked with, filled out a grant application with the Peltier Foundation out of Thibodaux, and they funded Harbor Police Bulletproof Vest to $10,000. So that's about a $12,500 project, and they funded $10,000 of that project. So I say project, it's to purchase some bulletproof vests and update the, what they call them, the little slide-in protectors that they have in those bulletproof vests. So we really thank the Peltier Foundation for that, for sure. The other thing I wanted to mention, and thank these folks for being here in the audience today, is we have State Representative Joe Ogeron. Thank you for being here. If you have any comments, you can say anything. Thank you for being here, Joe. And I know you're prepping for a pretty intensive legislative session coming up in April. Oh, okay. Good. Thank you. And we have the U.S. Coast Guard is here. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate it. There's 2 meetings in a row, so we thank you for being here and look forward to continuing successful work with the Coast Guard in the coming years. We have Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, Brendan Mathern's here. Thank you for being here, Brendan. I know you have a new position within, yeah, you can come up and say something.
Yeah, thank you, Chet. Gentlemen, I know most of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm Brendan Mathern. I am the Public Information Officer for the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office for this is about my 10th year with the Sheriff's Office. Recently, as of January 1st, the Sheriff has promoted me to Captain, and I'm now over the South Lafourche substation here in Cutoff. So for the foreseeable future, I will be your sort of liaison. If you need anything from the Sheriff's Office, my office is right here in Cutoff. I have some business cards you guys can pass around, but just wanted an opportunity to introduce myself to you. If there's anything that we can do for you guys, obviously we'd love to work with you and continue our partnership. I know we have many already, so anything that we can do, or if there's any concerns, or even any concerns in the community that you'd like to pass along to us, I'm more than happy to help out. So thank you.
Thank you, Brennan. Thank you for coming. And we also like to give some well wishes to Mr. Daniel Lorraine, who is good to see you back. I know you had surgery just recently, and it's good to see you back up and running. Thanks for being here. Good, good. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Dad, I want to tell you, thank you, welcome. You did a good job on that, on getting that for the sheriff's, the Harbor Patrol. They really needed it. Thank you. All right, next we're going into committees. Members are Executive are Chucky Sherman, Chairman, Rodney J. Gisclair Sr., Mike Colley, John Mellison, Jr. First, we have consider approving the leases with Central Dispatch for office space.
Okay, so as you're aware, in the purchase of the buildings behind us here, now that we own that property, there is a Central Dispatch, has office space in there, so we're working a direct lease with Central Dispatch. So.
All right, need a motion.
Move.
Moved by John Mellison, second by Mr. Curtis Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have considered approving the request from Seacorp Marine to extend short-term mooring agreement in Flotation Canal.
Okay, so Seacorp Marine has a short-term agreement, and they want to extend it to be able to moor 2 lift boats in Flotation Canal. Recommendation to approve.
I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Mike Colley, second by Mr. Rodney Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, consider approving the request from Seaport Ventures for a right of first refusal on sites GLF 320 and 321.
All right, Sea Support Ventures is working on some opportunities, and we'd like a right of first refusal on those 2 sites.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Mr. Larry Griffin, second by Jim Lafont. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the cooperative endeavor agreement with CPRA and CWPP.
You passed up.
Oh, I passed up. Okay, consider approving the request from Entergy, Louisiana to lease a site at the SLL Industrial Park.
All right, this is over at the airport on the industrial park. Entergy has a project coming up to do some power pole upgrades, and they would like to lease as a laydown yard about a 10-acre site.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Johnny Ardorn, second by Chris Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Now, consider approving the cooperative endeavor agreement with CPRA for CWPPRA West Fourchon Marsh Creation and Nourishment Project.
All right, so this is a project that we've been talking about for a few months now. This Quipper project through CPRA as the statewide sponsor is a cooperative endeavor agreement for them to utilize Belle Pass and Bayou Lafourche as a source of settlement for that marsh creation project and for other work that we need to do with them to make sure that that can happen.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Mr. Rodney Gisclair, second by Mr. Larry Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Now we're getting out of the Executive Committee, going into Permits and Waterways Committee. Members are Curtis Pierce, Chairman, Jim Lafont, Johnny Ardorn, and Chucky Sherman. Mr. Pierce.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, we go to permit West Fourchon Marsh Creation and Nourishment, CWPPRA project. Then we have Hunt Telcom LLC in Lafourche Parish, unauthorized installation of a fiber optic cable along Highway 1 from Lockport to Grand Isle. A growing season may be conditioned for temporary impact to wetlands. An administrative penalty will be issued for the unauthorized work, and compensatory mitigation may be required for any permanent loss to the wetlands. Next, we have Hutchinson Anita L. in Lafourche Parish, proposed installation of a wharf 10 by 5, two-pile mooring clusters, bumper piles, 2 single mooring piles, and 4 single piles to support the wharf. The wharf will be constructed at an existing bulkhead. No dredging required for the access. Approximately 0.01 acres of wetland bottoms may be impacted by the proposed activity. And this, Mr. President, concludes my report, permits and waterways.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pierce. Next, we're getting out of permits and waterways, going to construction and development. Members are Larry Griffin, Chairman, Chris Colley, Jamil Lafon, and Chucky Sherman. Mr. Griffin, your turn.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is consider approving the DOTD resolution accepting the work for Slip C 1,100-foot east bulkhead and by Shaver Widows Construction.
This project is complete. Recommendation to approve.
I need a motion. Moved by Mike Colley, second by Chris Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next is consider approving the lowest responsive bid and award for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project H.011915.
The lowest responsive bidder was Sea Level Construction Incorporated for $30,956,316.07. Recommendation to approve.
I got a motion by Mr. Larry Griffin, second by Johnny Ordorn. Any discussion?
Just note that that's $3 million, a little less than $3 million under budget or estimate.
Okay. Any more discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next is consider approving the DOTD supplement agreement number 1 for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project H.011915.
All right, so same project supplemental agreement because of the work that's taking place between us and the parish and the state. There's some road transfer dollars, so we need to approve this agreement. Thank you.
All right. Need a motion. Moved by Mr. Rodney Gisclair, second by Mr. Curtis Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Now we're going into Finance Committee. Members are John Mellison Jr., Chairman, Rodney Gisclair Sr., Mike Colley, Chucky Sherman. Mr. Mellison, you up?
Good morning and thank you, Mr. President. We'll begin by considering approving payments of the February 2021 invoices and recognizing those over $10,000. And we'll begin with item 1. Crosby Dredging, LLC, $279,425.25, and that's for dredging of Slip D and Bayou Lafourche. Item 2, GIS Engineering, LLC, $227,620.83, and that's for the terminal building at the airport, dredging of Slip D, CPRA surveys and general engineering and consulting, along with the front marina boat lift. Item 3, Lowland Construction Company Incorporated, $117,812.89. And that's for the Tidal Creek Bridge and culvert improvements for Slip D mitigation. Item 4, Angelette Piciola, LLC, $95,373.59. That's for GLF 626 site improvements, LA1 Phase 2 Leeville Construction Canal dredging and mitigation, and the Fouchon Bridge. Item 5, Piciola and Associates Incorporated, $57,564.51. That's for Slip C Sweep Dredging Phase 2, Tidal Creek and culvert improvements for Slip D mitigation, dredge permit for the flotation canal and mooring dolphins, airport corridor bridge project, and the Fouchon Pavilion. Piciola Construction Company Incorporated, $55,566.50. and that's for the repaired windows and sheetrock at the Operations Building in Fouchon. Item 7, Vision Communications, $29,020.18. That's for internet, phone, cable, and fiber services. E&L Enterprises, $28,162.72. That's for the drainage ditch improvements along with the airport road. Item 9, Carasoft, $21,454.86, and that's for the VMware. Item 10, Eagleview, $16,942.28. That's for the aerial imagery of the 10th Ward of Lafourche Parish. Item 11, Dell, $15,148.39, and that's for the PowerVault TL1000 and monitors. Item 12, Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, $14,740.78, and that's the annual maintenance fee for leads. Item 13, Grand Isle Shipyard, $14,322.44. That's for contract labor at the airport. Item 14, American Integration Contractors, $14,000. That's for security system maintenance. Item 15, AXON Enterprise Incorporated, $13,895 even, and that's year 2 of TASER cost. Item 16, Tidewater Dock Incorporated, $10,440. Level area along Flotation Canal on the west side, floodgate pile clusters in Golden Meadow. And last on the list is Bank of America, $10,064.12, and that's for port credit card charges. These, along with our other expenses, brings us to a grand total of $1,686,150.92. And Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we accept these expenditures.
Okay, I got a motion by Mr. John Mellison, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. President, I'd like to give a shout out to Josh Rotolo, who attended our Monday night committee meeting. Thank you, Josh, for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again. Mr. President, this concludes the finance report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mellison. Next, we have any other business? Any public comment? I got a motion by Jim Lafon, second by Johnny Arjorn to adjourn. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. The Coast Guard especially for coming and see us. Mr. Lorraine, Mr. Orgeron, thank you all for coming. Meeting adjourned.